Yo, what's up? We are live. Check, check, check. All right, my levels seem a little bit low, so I'm gonna
Can you
raise
hear me?
myself up. I can hear you. Yeah, my levels are low. Give me a second. I'm adjusting my levels. All right, so check it out, folks. We're in for another week with the one and only Christopher Leon Johnson. Once again, go check out his channel. He is in my featured channel section,
Thank
and
you.
we're here to talk about local New York City politics and what's going on down here. Yeah, the best
Mhm.
source and on the ground source from two guys out here just doing the thing. Yeah. So
Mhm.
we got a bunch of topics to talk today. Did you want to actually? Do you have one that you want to bring up first, or I could just
Oh
say it
yeah,
from the top of the list?
before start off, happy Sunday, everybody. Thanks for having me on. I just want to get this over with. There was an event that was I think it was a Wednesday at Amazon AWS. They had a summit, and there was a event held by Empower Change by Linda Sarsour and the DS people, few people in the Empower Change about Israel, Amazon funding Israeli apartheid. So there's an event like that. It wasn't bad. Linus also showed up for that. She already spoke. You know,
Wait, what are the
but other
Israelis funding?
no, Amazon is funding Israel. I mean, I think it was some software. I don't know what's going on.
So
It was
Amazon. Well, actually, that would make sense. Amazon actually one of their most profitable services is something called Amazon Web Services, where they
yeah,
provide background infrastructure for actually many government agencies, actually many international agencies. One thing that's really weird, you guys can watch on my channel. You guys can check this for yourself. I went to North Korea. I went to Google Maps in North Korea, and I found the college of what's his name, Kim Jong Il or something, University of Kim Jong Il or something, and I did a DNS, that means domain name search of their website because they have a website up, and they're hosted on Amazon Web Services. I said, "What's going on?" I said, "This is
yeah.
really weird." So, look, even these international, weird stuff going on. They need international web pages, and Amazon Web Services could be a solution. I don't know if Amazon Web Services is doing the stuff for the Israeli government, but they also do a lot of security because they do so much back end stuff and they have access to a lot of backdoor information. So a lot of people say, "Oh, you know what? I'm using Signal. Oh, I'm using all these other secure apps. Blah blah blah." Right? Yeah. When a lot of the infrastructure is going all over their networks and stuff, you really can't trust any of it. But um, so that's interesting. All right, so it was great that you got to see Linda Sarsour again. Once again, I do encourage you guys to watch. I do have interviews with over 90 activists, and Christopher Leon Johnson's one of them. And one of the questions that I ask every activist is, I ask them all the same question. I say, who really inspires you? Who's really, and your answer was Linda Sarsour. So that was cool. You got to get back with her. Um,
Yeah,
did anything interesting happen there? You have good history
not
together.
basically at all. Just like people hand out flyers, stuff like that. It was right by the water, so by the Java Center. Other than that, it wasn't bad.
I got to ask you just a personal question for myself, man. Look,
Yeah.
I've been as someone who's also sympathetic to the Palestinian cause. Also, I don't want to put down Israelis. I mean, really, I would say Jewish, not really Israelis, right? Yeah, but I am
Mhm.
more, I don't want to paint out all Jews or Israelis as bad people either, right? They need to live somewhere too. They face their own discrimination. But once again, right, the Palestinian community, I also accuse them of, I've reached out to them several times. You've seen it. I've CC'd you, right? I've had it like for years.
Yeah.
I've been contacting them. They've never really contacted me back. You yourself, right? You're Dominican, right? Yeah, and
Yeah.
you cite Linda Sarsour as someone who's really you're inspired by. You have a very good relationship with her. She's not really working with you. You know what I mean? Who does she
Yeah.
work with anybody non-Palestinian on this issue at all? And are they only celebs or what? Right? They say they want to help. They're doing these rallies, but then when we reach out to them, like they're not really. Do they really want help or not? You know what I mean? Like, what are they? You know what I mean?
Not at all. Not at
They
all.
don't.
I don't think so.
So then how are they? How are they trying to achieve the change through electoral means? Right? Yeah. Like they have to. Right. The thing is that if it's just like a war, right? You could take a small army and then you could just go and take over. You know what I mean? Using
Mhm.
force or strategy. But this is not that. This is a different type of war. This is like politics where you have to achieve mass. You have to convince other people to come to your side and vote in a certain way. And these
Yeah.
Palestinians, right? much love out to them. You know what I mean? I understand where they're protectionist stuff like that, but if you want chief change in this country using electoral means, you have to team up with other groups that are going to be sympathetic to your cause,
Yeah.
and people um, like Christopher Leon Johnson, right? Yeah, you've been specifically going to a bunch of these rallies. Why isn't Linda Sarsour? I think you're a very high quality individual. Linda Sarsour cannot recognize your ability or talent.
Thank you.
I don't know what's up, man. I never see, Linda, what's up, Props out for being Christopher's. I can't wait to meet you one of these days and have this conversation with you. But the fact that Christopher, once again, meets so many politicians, he meets so many activists, and the fact that you're an inspiration, Linda, you know what I mean? That means something to me.
Thank you,
And
bro.
I can't wait to meet her, you know what I mean? And really,
Yeah.
maybe I hope that she gets to see this, or someone from her people see this and say, "What's up?" You know what I mean? Contact these
Yeah.
guys. They're trying to work on this issue. So sorry to interrupt you
Hmm.
about that. Yeah. So go ahead. So you said something went crazy or something at this event, and what happened?
Nothing crazy happened. Nothing crazy happened. It was just like people handed out flyers like that. They had a rally and that's it. They
Oh,
moved
not
on.
that one. I was thinking about another event with the deliveristas. I'm sorry. Yeah, this one is separate, right?
Oh
Yeah, this.
yeah, so let's
I'm
talk about that.
sorry.
All
I
right,
got them all
so they
confused.
was
Yeah.
so basically yeah,
Wait,
so
wait.
thanks for
Okay, so before we jump off that, is there anything else you want to say about the whole the Israel thing?
no, not at all, not at all.
Okay,
Just
that's
bring it
cool.
up.
All right, let's move right along. Okay, so yeah, you were gonna go off onto something else, the
Oh yeah,
deliveristas. Oh my goodness. So
before we get
before we
liberal,
talk about what popped off, right? Just to because I'm not sure that people really know what's going on, right? They hear Israel, Palestine, right? Yeah, they hear Linda Sarsour, but um, even I'm not really sure exactly what happened at that particular event, right? But I guess we'll move on to this to the deliveristas. So deliveristas, give us a little background about what's going on and what the rally was about, and just to put us into the setting of so we can understand in context what you were there for. Go ahead.
All right, so the Liberistas. So what happened is, so basically the Liberistas is an organization called Lost Delivery Unistos, and basically they're under the Worker Justice Project, who are based in 385 Broadway. I think it's 385, 395 in Williamsburg, right by the J train. Juniper Gutierrez neighborhood. That's like technically she's your constituent, right, DJ?
Exactly. Yeah. I gotta talk to Jen one
that's
of
your
these
council.
days. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's Jennifer Gutierrez. That's her district. So basically, what happened was 2 days straight. I mean, not straight, but 2 days in the same week. They had bike tune-ups, free bike tune-ups. Like where you can give. They'll fix your bike. They'll tune up your bike. They'll take the oil out and put new oil in. Like I said, they'll make your bike a little better for free. Give out food and stuff like that. So when it happened, Thursday, it was one held by Lincoln Wrestler. NYC Drivers Unite was there. Lincoln Wrestler didn't have nothing to do with NYC Drivers Unite because of he like I think he felt disrespected of what happened at the McGinnis rally. Blew Lincoln up, so they Lincoln have it out against NYC Drivers Unite because of what happened. So like he gave him the finger. Now, he didn't like give him the middle finger, but like he didn't want to do what the guy said. I don't want to talk to you. So Thursday wasn't bad. I mean, NYC Drivers Night photobombed photobombed the picture. The one that they didn't run that picture, but I ran it and they saw it and they blocked me. Working they blocked me because of that. That was Thursday. Then Saturday, this is how everything went down. So Saturday, I think I lost you on the screen, brother. I know you probably saw.
I could show the screen. Yeah, you want to share the screen?
Yeah. Saturday. No. It's like no. It's all right. It's like yeah, me too. I'm blaming Saturday. What happened was there was an event in Park Slope, Fifth Avenue, Park Slope, Brooklyn, between First and Second, an open street. Fifth Avenue open street. So take this last open street that they're gonna have until September. So the Worker Justice Project, they had their another free bike tour event. I got there at 11:58 that morning. Earlier than that, I covered a prayer walk hosted by a clergywoman. And I'm gonna break this down right now. People might be like, "Oh well, why you was up there in the Bronx, and then you left? I was like, "Well, I'm gonna keep it real. I could care less. She don't really care about it. I covered her anyway. The way her energy was like, well, So I was like, I just went up there, take a little day and lead the Bronx. That's what I did. I don't care. because she don't care anyway. I put that. I said that in the video. Just in case somebody gets mad. Oh, using the Bronx, and then you went to Brooklyn. I was like, yeah, I was in the Bronx, and then I went to Brooklyn. I don't care. So, like I said, going back to that, I was in Brooklyn. I got there 11:58. I went live for a reason. Shahana Hanif was the main person that sponsored the event. She gave the money for the event, and she gave the money for the event, and that's what happened. So Shahana got there about 12:10.
Okay, wait. Quick
She was
question.
there.
Yeah.
Hmm?
So it sounds like I don't want to. It's a lot of people might hear the word those deliveries. You need it. You know, and think that a lot of these people are illegal. Some of them are illegal. Okay, right? Yeah. Just because they're Spanish doesn't mean they're illegal. Yeah. But actually, the optics of it is that she's helping the community, which is cool, I guess. But the thing is, does their community really have voting power? Isn't it a little bit dangerous for her to come out and really, you know, fund an event like this? Maybe they do have voting power. What's the state of these organizations? What do you think? They are also.
I think it's about voting power. I think yesterday she probably regretted it because I think she didn't see anything out of it. I mean, she came because what happened yesterday was like a mess. Was like a good mess because I spoke how everything went down between me and Lydia, and I start seeing everything, the real shit up there. But I think because what happens is the majority of the Laristas are Hispanic, you know, mostly from like Mexico, things like that. So
Yeah, they can control those votes. Actually, a lot of I forgot the name of the channel. I think it starts with a V or something. They did an expose on how electioneering happens inside the senior citizens homes. You take people
hmm
that are vulnerable, that need a lot of care, and they can be influenced. And unfortunately,
yeah,
this also does happen within the immigrant community as well, right? Yeah,
yeah,
it's happening in the Asian community too. By the way, you can also see the way that the Asians really, a lot of these the more establishment ones, they really focus on language stuff. They really
hmm
focus on services and not really anything really controversial. They really
yeah,
want to control these communities and use their
hmm
and really the Latinos and the Asians have some similarities and could work together more on some of these
hmm
issues. So I'll try to be more of a patch in that. There also is a generational gap, right? You don't see me hang
yeah,
out with a lot of other Asian Americans um, from the old world, right? I'm Korean American, right? A lot of political leaders are actually Chinese. They're older Chinese. So there's a slight cultural barrier. There's other things going on. Um, so sometimes it's difficult for me as a youth. I'm not gonna say youth, but as a second generation to really work with that older generation due to cultural and language barriers. And then I have to patch that group, right, the older Asian population with the Latino population when I don't really speak that much Spanish. It's a very difficult challenge, and
yeah.
yeah, so that's why it's very tough to mobilize for that community. So even though that community really would fall normally under my wing, right? I take care of the poor, the disabled, stuff like that, right? This group really, the language barriers make it difficult for me. But that puts me in a funny situation about this whole Creedmoor situation, the other thing. But we're gonna get back to that. But you were talking about this, how you were at this event with the pastor and stuff like that. So, anything else that you want to particularly talk about that event?
Oh yeah, like I'm gonna tell us right now. I mean, that's what's hard to like break down what happened. So I got there like and then JQ LLC, he does a lot of work. He does a lot of work about the open streets and like the public stuff, like the street stuff. And what happened with him was he was there. He got there a few minutes after her, and he wanted to ask her a question about certain things. And the way she handled it, Shahana Hanif handled it, was like disgusting. She was trying to gaslight him. She didn't even want to talk to the guy. She was trying to find a way to cut like the rush the conversation and move on from her. So he did that. He did that, and he left. We and so after that what happened, I was there chilling, just having this still live streaming, this through my live stream, and then I think she saw that I was Shahana left, and I was still there. I said, "Let me stay for 2 hours and go." Thank God I stood there for 2 hours, and I had my composure because
Now,
when it
here's another question I have for you, right? Yeah, they mad at you because they say you going from the Bronx to Brooklyn, but you're from Brownsville. You're originally from Brooklyn, anyways. Why
Yeah.
would they be mad, right? I mean, I know you're covering the event, right? Yeah, but why would they be mad that you're going from Bronx to Brooklyn? That seems a little bit weird.
Mhm. Uh-huh. I don't know why.
Seems a little selfish, right? Yeah, it's all about us. You're not even allowed to take care of your own stuff.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not allowed to worry about
So
your own borough. What's going on, man? What's going
yeah, I
on?
know. Yeah, I know it's crazy. So I
That's
mean,
not
so
okay.
it's like I was there for a few, and then she saw out. She got mad. Like the executive director got mad that I was still there. And I think she was trying to say one harasser. I'm like, well, lady, how I'm harassing you? Like I never even like it's on video. Like how I'm harassing you? I never even opened my mouth
You know
to
what
you.
I
I never
think it
said
is?
hi to
I
you.
think that she put her heart and soul into it, and she felt like, she made this event and she put a lot of work into it, and she felt like other people wasn't really. She felt bad because, people wasn't really showing up the way that she wanted, and you were the one dude that was there, and she wanted to make you stay, and she was trying to guilt trip you into staying, and that's a little bit sad, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was
so.
like, yeah, I think, yeah, I don't think people, I don't think the people that showed up really showed up. It was only the deliveristas that showed up, coming with their mopeds and motorcycles. You know what I'm saying?
To get the free repair. Yeah, and it's tough because a
Yeah.
lot of people, because the challenges with that community has, not a lot of people's helping them, so they got to eke out their own living. And I really
Yeah.
got a lot of sympathy for that. With all the
Hmm.
struggles that I have, I spoke the English language and I was culturally assimilated already. They are having to
Yeah.
deal with it on a whole nother level, and there's other problems like places like Newburgh where actually is large Mexican population where they're actually undergoing some crazy, inhumane conditions. And I really would like to cover their struggle more. It is what it
Hmm.
is, yeah. But there's also links back to, oh, so, I'm sorry, yeah. Screw the link.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just a little bit scattered this morning.
It's
But,
all right. It's all right. But
yeah, so any particular, anything else you want to talk about this particular event that you went to?
nothing else at all. I made my points a few times about these events, so it's like really no point. I mean,
All
that's
right.
all I'm saying.
And the politician that you said, I think said you said the politician that was there. What is their significance in the whole bigger picture of
I
things?
think because I think she just wants the votes. She wants the votes and she wants the support.
Do you think she's in any kind of danger, or do you think that she's got a
No,
pretty
she's
comfortable
not.
race?
She's not really in danger. She's well loved by a lot of people in the community. She's like people drew for her. People in her community drew for her. So it's like, no.
Okay. And were any of these bikes? These bikes were all. Were any of these bikes e-bikes?
E-bikes, mopeds, motorcycles. So it was like everything.
Okay. It is what it is. Yeah. Just so you know, Louis Rossman. I think I told you about him in a previous stream. He recently talked about the e-bike ban. So once again, I do occupy like a middle ground, right? Rather than banning them, I think it's okay for them to be regulated like cars and stuff, right? Yeah, cars could also be dangerous, right? But there's certain things that
Mhm.
are legal, like after turbo, right? Yeah, you can't install NOS in your car, in your street car, or there's certain things like tracks, right? Track cars don't have to have mirrors, safety mirrors,
Yeah.
but street cars do. So it's okay for us to have certain, regulations for e-bikes to make sure they're a little bit they're safer, right? Because people are dying. So that's a fair. Right? I wouldn't just straight up ban them. I feel like that's a little bit too much, yeah. But just my personal take. So I think it's cool to repair them. Um, Hopefully there's some type of lot, there's like if someone screws up that repair though, who's liable? You know what I mean? So that's interesting to think about, right? Yeah. Not sure what's gonna happen with that. So maybe some insurance or something. Yeah. All right. So anything else you want to really um, anything else you want to particularly mention at this particular point?
Nothing basic at all. I mean, I said what I said. I mean, I didn't go. I didn't. I know I didn't do anything crazy. She
You know,
just got mad because I exposed her. I exposed her ass. So that's
going
all
back
that's
to the
about.
to talking about immigrants and stuff. Didn't you say something happened recently at Creedmoor, College
Oh
Point?
yeah, there was two. Yeah, there was two rallies. Yeah, there was two. There was two rallies. About Creedmoor. Like one yesterday, and there was one. I think it was a Thursday about Creedmoor because they want to put a migrant shelter at Creedmoor. with 1,000 men. So people were upset about that. They just like me, I could care less. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my big fight because to keep it real, the same politician that's really have a big stick about it voted for the budget. So I could care less what Vicky Palladino thinks about Creedmoor. You know what I mean? She voted for the budget. That's what she gets.
You know,
The nonprofits going to benefit. Nonprofits are the main ones that's going to benefit from the Creedmoors and the college points of New York. You know?
now part of what's happening at Creedmoor, I think there's another layer to the issue that I think that really isn't being discussed. So I just want to throw it out there and see what you think about this. Yeah. Now the fact is
Mm-hmm.
that Creedmoor has a troubled history. They were giving electrical shocks to people, stuff like that. And the thing is that they're actually thinking about Creedmoor actually has a facility, right? They have a building, but they're not going to actually house the migrants in the building. They're going to house them in like a tent city in the parking lot, something like that. Correct?
Yeah.
So the thing is that when I spoke with the Republican Club, one of the things that I said was that a lot of times migrants and people that have we were talking 623 is also another thing that you talk about, like people who are formerly incarcerated, sometimes wrongfully incarcerated, right? Yeah. What happens to a lot of these people are, and we got to think about what's happening with migrants too, right? They're when they what and also people with disabilities, people who are trans as well. What happens is that there's a lot of discrimination against them, or economic conditions that are against them, and they end up being all corralled into like one community where no resources end up going in, or less resources going in end up going in, and it becomes a dumping ground for environmental toxins and other things like that, right? Now, one of my real issues is that when they take migrants or people who's come out of prison and stuff, they do not, right? Yeah, go into rich communities where there's jobs available and stuff like that. And I understand when people say there's kids there, but there's kids in the poor communities as well. So these people need a solution. And the thing is that when we take a look at where Creedmoor is, it's like near like Great Neck, like College Point. That's a more wealthier area of New York City. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So if they're more wealthy, they would have more money to possibly, right? Yeah, to develop more solutions for migrants. And I understand where they say it's not their problem, right? Yeah, but they do benefit from New York City's larger economics in general, right? And if it doesn't fall on them to help out this community, right? Yeah, then who's going to end up? Who's where are they going to end up going, and who's going to help them out? It's going to be a poor community. It's going to be they're going to end up getting lodged in. They're going to end up getting lodged with each other, and these migrants are the ones who are going to end up living with, just like in Newburgh, the migrants and the people with the formerly incarcerated live together like this, and they end up
Mm-hmm.
getting. Um, that's just what happens. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So how do we really, right? Yeah, like I understand, like the Creedmoor thing. Should they be in tents in the parking lot? No. But why is one of the
No.
richest communities in New York City, right? Yeah, they're just saying get rid of them, or this is not the solution. Where's your, do something? You getting more? Are you gonna do more, or is it just like, if we're on our own, then as far as I'm concerned, your community's on your own too. So I mean, you're not gonna look out for us. We're not gonna look out for you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that's a slightly contrarian point of view on the Creedmoor situation. And I
Yeah.
do think that they do have some valid, once again, someone from outside shouldn't just come to the community and say we're going to put tents and move in thousands of people into your community. That's not cool either. But being
Yeah.
if the solution is we're just like it's not our problem, go away. Yeah, well then
Mm-hmm.
we'll honestly just being a you know formerly homeless person myself, I'll tell you exactly what my solution is, right? Yeah, and a lot of other
Mm-hmm.
people like myself, we're going to move right onto your doorstep, and we're going to move right into the thoroughfare of the entrance to your facility or into your community, and make sure that one way or the other, right? Yeah, um, you're going to end up having to deal with this. And if you look at it, like I'm originally from near Buffalo, right? Yeah, you look at Amherst,
Mm-hmm.
one of the highest income level disparities in the nation between Amherst and downtown Buffalo, and one of the highest crime rate differentials in the country. You look at Harlem. Then you look at the Bronx, right? You have a lot of these
Hmm.
communities that have money. They don't want to cart their garbage too far away because it costs them extra money. So they find a local nearby dump where they can dump their undesirables, they can dump their garbage, they can dump their environmental waste. And if you're part of, if you're a community that, if you have restaurant owners in your community, I know there's a lot of restaurant owners in Forest Hills area, College Point area, millionaires, you know what I mean, benefiting off of like labor that's in their kitchens and stuff like that. I'm not saying that it's your responsibility 100%. I am saying what's happening to you is unfair, but your solution needs to be better and be more inclusive, right? And saying, we're gonna help you, or at least come this is what we'll do if you'll do this, you know what I mean, and ask for some type of fairness instead of just saying not our problem, go away, we don't have time for this. Oh, you're gonna have time for this. You get what I mean? Because
Hmm.
if they're not in the tents, they're gonna be under the bridge, or they're gonna be dealing with other ex-cons who's gonna beat the life out of them. They got their kids on the train, you know what I mean? They're not happy about that either, selling candy, but that's the best they can do. You know what I mean? That's gonna erupt somewhere. You know what I mean? And those people in those comfy ass houses in around Creedmoor, I've seen them houses. They not that bad. They not that bad. I mean, I get they don't want to look at the bad parts, and they don't want to be that like that or do that or anything, but
Hmm.
there has to be, when the conversation is just go away, that's not acceptable. You need to like
Yeah.
do some. If you're one of the richest communities, you could at least offer something or say, we'll do something, or if the other side do something, we got to be fair here. That's my take on that situation.
Hmm.
Okay, so would you have any? What's your take on that? On my take, right? Yeah, they're a wealthy community. You see Vicky, you see Linda. They're both coming out against the. You see Bernard Chow. They're all against the Creedmoor thing, and I get it. It's not popular. Um, but is no none of them are actually addressing the situation from the angle that I just presented, correct?
Yeah, they don't.
And it's just politically not like they don't want to, they wouldn't. But is there a response to that, or do you is there anybody addressing that, like maybe groups or individuals?
Yeah, I don't think so. Like to keep it real, like I said, like I think before I get in, like both two of them, Linda and Vicky both voted for the budget. They voted for the nonprofits to get the money out of the budget for the migrant crisis.
Oh,
But
okay.
now they're so mad about the Creedmoor, and they're mad about Creedmoor, and they're mad about um College Point. But that what they get. They're just trying to keep their job. They're trying to save their jobs. That's all they care about.
In the end, they're gonna bow to power, right? Yeah, because they're just giving lip service to the community and telling what they want to hear. But really
Hmm.
behind the scenes, right? They're trying to maintain their own power. So I think
Yeah.
overall this represents a loss for them, though, because their community, right? They would rather be the representative of a rich district than a poor district, and they'd rather be
Hmm.
a district that's more so. Yeah, they are kind of getting screwed, I guess. But I think their response to it you know, um, could be even just politically better. I think politically, just the way that I presented it, would be a more, but maybe it just won't take with the audience, right? Maybe they did some
Hmm.
testing and they decided that the audience wasn't ready for that level of engagement, and they needed a more simplistic presentation. What do you think? Do you think that
Yeah.
maybe, yeah? So it's hard to tell,
Yeah.
but once again, that's hopefully a reason why you watch this channel, to have a more nuanced conversation. Oh, I know what's gonna happen there. All right. Anything else you want to talk about that particular situation?
Nothing else basically. I mean, nothing else. It's just like they just both for the budget. I can care less. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
One person serious Ari Kagan. Other than that, like everybody else is like you just doing for photo. Ari Kagan. Other than that, because Ari Kagan both gets the budget. Other than that, like majority of you guys are doing for photo op. That's what I care about. That's what I say. I do it for the photo op.
Hmm. Talking about photo ops, um, there's an interesting disabilities event coming up actually tomorrow. Now,
Hmm.
actually, I could share it with Should I share? Man, if I already talked about
There's
it, right? Yeah.
yeah,
If I share, I might get cut off. But the thing was forwarded to
yeah.
me from a friend, and my friend might get cut off. They're just gonna be less honest.
Uh-huh.
But it's funny. There's actually a disabilities event, but it's actually not managed or run by the disabilities community, but it's actually being run by alumni from the Ear and Eye Hospital and the Kristen Gonzalez and Harvey Epstein, not by people with disabilities themselves, right? So what's
Mhm.
happening is that Mount Sinai is actually starting to roll back services and procedures for ear and eye treatments, and
Mhm.
they're concerned that they're going to actually try to close the hospital and replace it with for a real estate deal. So
Mhm.
actually, Epstein and Gonzalez may have information behind the scenes that we do not. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows what's going on, right? Maybe the ear and eye people, right? Once again, these may be former doctors. And a lot of times when these doctors, right, yeah, some of them have progressive leanings, right, yeah, despite the hypocrisy of what they're enrolled in. But some of them do lean this way or that way, and they will actually say something to their to their legislators. By the way, um, I know I'm jumping all over the place, but there's something called Medicare for All. You know about Medicare for
Mhm.
All? Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing is that actually I used to support it, but I no longer support this. What? Sounds quite strange, right? Now, you may see someone that I work with, Mark Mixon. I think that you were there when we were there with Wu Tang. Now, you jumped at the very end, but remember the Wu Tang thing? I had Mark Mixon in that particular chat. I don't know if you got to see that discussion. So he's from Washington
Yeah, I was
State, and
there.
we've been working together on the Medicare for All stuff. And the thing is that there's a group in Washington State called Whole Washington. uh, all doctors, medical professionals, rich people, right? Yeah, and they're actually their little, and they have their little Zoom meetings, their little echo chamber, right? A lot of groups have this, right? Candidates have their own little echo chambers. Republicans, Democrats have their own little echo chambers. This group of super rich doctors has a group called Whole Washington, and they get to have their cushy meetings with the legislators in ways that the other groups don't. So once again, this NYEEI group, right? Yeah, these alumni may have access to Harvey Epstein and Kristen Gonzalez in ways that the disability community does not. Once again, right? Yeah, my man Mark is in Pennsylvania right now at College Park at a disabilities conference, which he will be presenting at in 2 years from now, right? Where's the local help for that? None, right? Yeah. Where's the local help
Mhm.
for the? So it's this weird thing going on with your background, with you, what you know about these particular candidates. Um, what do you think is going on with? I actually have a letter that shows that it's not managed by the communities, right, that are impacted by this, but rather some outsiders. What do you think about this, Chris?
What? The
Well,
the
okay.
event.
Well, one of the things that I'm really interested in is the connection of Harvey Epstein and Kristen Gonzalez, right? Yeah, I'm always interested in the players, who's showing up and why. Last time, I think off camera, we actually talked about is there a connection between Ron Kim's people or the Asian community, actually not Ron Kim, Asian community, maybe John Liu, and the DSA, right? Yeah, we've seen.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, at the KCS, we went to some event, some rally, and we saw Amelia was there with Linda Lee and John Liu and Steve Raga.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes they
Mhm.
get together, sometimes they not. So there's still trying to understand, right, who's connected to whom. So why is, right, Epstein doesn't usually roll with Gonzalez or DSA, correct?
Yeah, they don't.
So why do you think that they're rolling together on this disabilities thing?
Think because of the money. 504 Democrats have a lot of money. That's why.
You think NYE, but the 504 Democrats is saying, right, that this is not community led. This is more like an outsider, right, establishment, rich people, NYEEI alumni and these specific politicians that are running this event.
Yeah. Hmm.
Maybe they just don't want to be attacked on disability issues, on their lack of care. But why did they? But why did they end up get? Why did Epstein and Gonzalez get together?
Probably because of the. I don't know. Probably because of the money.
Where's
Probably because of
Epstein's
the political
district?
power. Epstein's in the Lower East Side. His main core, Lower East Side.
That's Manhattan and Queens. That's two completely different boroughs, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Krista got Manhattan too. Krista got Kips Bay. She got a little part of Kips Bay, like by the Waterside Plaza. That's her district.
oh, so they're neighboring.
Yeah, Kristen is tri-borough. Kristen
Okay.
has Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens.
Okay, I'm
So
sorry, I
she's
didn't know that. Yeah, look, that's why I have Christopher Leon. You know this stuff much better, man. Yeah, like I get mixed up. There's too many candidates. There's too many districts crossing over too many ways. Yeah, I just think a story. I think Kristen. Yeah, I did not know that it was all crossing over in this weird way. Okay, thank God I have
hmm
you, man. Yeah, I wouldn't have known that. So they're actually both crossing over, maybe neighbor district, and maybe NYEI is also in their district. Who knows, right? Yeah, I didn't know she was in Kips Bay. Interesting. Okay. I know where that is, just so you know. People who don't know, that's near Murray Hill. That's like in the 20s. That's like around 20th Street on like First Avenue, Avenue A, right? That's Kips Bay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where it is in Manhattan. Okay, for people that don't know. Okay, interesting. So, just so you know, Mark, like I did say, has a TDA conference in Pennsylvania. He started his own group called Mark Saffman Consulting, something like that. That should go on my next newsletter. So much love out to
hmm
him. Yeah. I will be actually reporting on his. He's actually meeting this week with legislators in D.C., promoting a package of legislative issues, including the co-navigator program for the deafblind, and I will have an update and maybe even a video on that particular issue later on when I get to it. I've been struggling. Part of the reason why I'm
hmm
burned out, so I don't really know if it might be a while, but that's next on my docket. So there's been a slowdown on output on videos from me, and there's a lot going on this next week. The Nick Brana thing, we'll talk about that later. But wow, yeah,
hmm
disabilities once again. So, just so you know, one other interesting thing is with this disabilities conference tomorrow. I also emailed that over to Juan Ardilla because lately he's been working on disabilities issues, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to see if he's going to show up or one of his people show up. Is there any other candidates that you think, right? Yeah, that maybe I should email this particular event to that you'd like to see come to the event or that you think needs to start addressing disability issues?
I don't really know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
What's
yeah,
ASA, right? Yeah,
one,
you talk
one.
about like standing for the disenfranchised working families party. Y'all show up. You know what I mean? I'm Jamani Williams. Go ahead, man. Show up, man.
Yeah,
I'm against that. If you show up, I'll record that too. But if you don't show up, I'll
yeah,
record that too. You know, it's up to you.
yeah.
So either way. um, anything else you want particular comment on that particular topic?
Basically nothing at all. I mean, it's tomorrow. Just hope to see what you should go and see what happens there, and then go from there. You know, I like
Yeah.
to see things, then I judge it after the fact. But there's certain. I mean, that's what I tell you.
Okay. All right, let's talk about another topic right now. I actually recently had a very exciting meeting, and I will be having ongoing work with people in Pennsylvania. I
hmm
went to Vincent Moto's, his Day of Freedom event in Pennsylvania,
hmm
and I actually met some other people there. One of them was Muti, who I recently did a live stream with, and Muti, just so you know, was uh, wrongfully incarcerated for over 40 years,
Yeah.
and I found out that Pennsylvania has no compensation law for people who are wrongfully incarcerated. So Vincent Moto, 27 years ago, right? Yeah, was freed. He still on DNA evidence. He still has not received any compensation to this day. Now they said one thing wild at that particular. I'll talk about Muti in a moment, but one thing wild that Vincent said, which I think that you might be interested in, is when we're talking things on a more national basis, is when we talk about Texas, a lot of people think about Texas and they think about like death penalty. They think about cowboy justice, things like that. But just so you know,
hmm
Texas is also number one in the nation, as in terms of exonerating people who've been wrongfully incarcerated. So it goes
Yep.
both ways. Not only that, right? But the thing is that Texas has the best compensation program for people who are wrongfully incarcerated in the nation. So a lot of people,
hmm
right, they classify these Republicans or these right wingers or conservatives in a certain way, right? Yeah, and they will be harsh on the criminals, but when they do something wrong, they're more willing to admit it and they're more willing to actually take steps to right those wrongs. And that's something that needs to be recognized and look at as a potential national model. So I'm actually trying to start a national. I'm gonna reach out to the candidates on a national basis to try to start in here in New York to try to get more. lining up of wrongful conviction compensation, and look at um, how they're actually exonerating people in Texas, right? And get that to be reviewed here in New York. By the way, Reverend Keith Gatson recently had a appearance on some news channel, and there's his lawyers recently requested a court date, right, for his exoneration due to evidence that's been presented in my video that was cited in the letter to the court. So we're going to see where that goes. So that's still developing. So that's what's going on that front with the wrongful convictions. Just to bring that back to the Pennsylvania front, Pennsylvania is a swing state. You know, a lot of attention is paid to that particular state because of during the presidential election they may have decided that that Biden was president really, and they can have some effect on national policy. Now this guy Muti, who I actually did a recent live stream with on my channel, he's actually was incarcerated and was there in the same jail when Mumia was actually checked into a prison, not checked into jail. He was there. You know what I mean? So the thing is that
Hmm.
he was actually incarcerated longer than Mumia Jamal, and he has his own politics and his own wrongful incarceration issue. So with Vincent Moto, along with Reverend Keith Gadsden, Nolan Farrell, and others that hopefully they can find a way to work together. We're going to continue to try to press for national addressment of some of these things. And I have another interview coming up with another Pennsylvania ally that I met at the rally, and that should be coming up soon. So I'm really looking forward to, developing a further bond with this group. Now, notice that once again, I did reach out. You saw my, I think I posted on Twitter and Instagram, the Starbucks Workers United, right? They have not reached back out yet. So I'm continuing to send them emails, right, saying I want to talk to you guys. Maybe we can do an event together. And I don't know if it's their leadership. I know that Sunrise, they got me booted from Save Section 9, right? So there's a lot of these leaders at the top of the progressives, millionaires and stuff, who've decided that because of the work that I do, it goes against their interests and they're trying to get rid of me and suppress all my work and, make sure that none of my... Yeah, it's a real battle out here. But, that's really what's going on. So the Starbucks United people, they haven't responded back. They seem like they're honest in intentions. I'm going to keep reaching out to them and see what we can do. I do hope they're potential allies, but you can see the difference in the way that Starbucks Workers United, that has a bus going around the country, a lot of support, right, from a lot of, like, DSA types, yeah, like hipsters, I would say, and then the wrongfully
Hmm.
incarcerated, right, yeah, how they're actually reaching back out. Well, also Vincent Moto is giving me, helping me out, too, right, yeah, he's endorsing me, right, yeah, so their group is taking me more seriously. But the leaders in Starbucks United, DSA, stuff like that, they won't talk about our work in terms of helping
Hmm.
disabilities, right? Yeah. They set up their own cooked up events, like this event coming up tomorrow, right? Yeah. Not organized, and they just whip it off with their rich friends, and they do their photo op, and this is a real issue that needs to be addressed. So it's huge, and so I had to have the spin off, right? There's so many spins, but Brian Winters, he's also someone I've been working with, with a group called An American Union. He's coming into town this week, and he's a former three-time elected New Hampshire legislator. And the thing is that during the 22 election cycle, I ran a program called Unified Platform 22, where I had Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Greens, Libertarians. Have you seen that project? Did you ever see any of those videos, Chris? United Platform
Yeah.
22. So we had over
Yeah, I did
100
see. I
different
never saw. I got
policies
one.
that we all agreed on, such as ending predatory prison pricing. Now the thing is that that's to start a conversation to show that we can work together, right? Now,
Hmm.
what Brian's thing is, he works on a similar package, but he actually put together a legislative package, right? Yeah, like how remember AOC signed off, and the Democrats were pushing this 200-page plan that they didn't even read, and they just signed it, right? Remember that happened a couple of years ago? That legislative package they all just signed in. You know what I'm
Hmm.
talking about, Chris?
We
Remember a
said.
couple of years ago there was a big kerfluffle about the Democrats, especially people were mad at AOC because there was some 200-page or maybe longer, right, document, maybe 800-page legislative document, and the Democrats just said we want everybody to just sign this, and they all just
Yeah.
signed it. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then also the mayor's budget, right? Yeah. Now what happens is that they put together, right? they don't just roll through one idea or one law. They roll together that one law packaged with a whole bunch of other laws as a legislative package, right? And that's how it
Hmm.
gets passed. So what happens is that Brian Winters put together something called a legislative package, once again publicly sourced, right? Yeah, like an American Union, but really with comment from other people that were just on the ground, from the groups that he worked with, like the People's Party. He also was working with the Yang Gang. He also spoke at the UBI march. A lot of the same places I was at, he was at, doing the same coalitional work, right? So we're going to team up together for this round in 24. But once again, nobody's talking about his work either. So he's
Hmm.
also similarly suppressed. So together with people in Pennsylvania, in North Carolina, right, we're going to try to really put them together. But as much as I love Brian, I do love him, but I have to also say that he doesn't have as much of the warrior spirit, and he's not ready to confront things like this event coming up this week, this coming what is it, the uh, the anti-war rally, which is sponsored by the
Hmm.
LaRouchians, which has Nick Brana speaking and also a presidential candidate from the Libertarians, and we're gonna have to see how the Green Party gets involved. I'm gonna have to reach out to I know someone who's involved with the Green Party stuff, and they've been ramping up their activity too. I do not see. I've received emails from the CPI, from the LaRouchians promoting the August 8th event. The Libertarians I've seen not so official, but they've been supporting it on the low. The Greens I have not seen yet the open support for the event, and I'm watching with eagle eyes to see where they line up. But this historic convergence of third-party members under the corruption of Nick Brana and the LaRouchians, by the way, LaRouchian Party leadership, a faction of the LaRouchians, by the way, okay, which is not being covered by the media, but needs to be investigated because this is some this is historically significant in the third-party space. And just having been third-party space for a long time, what's going to happen on August 6th, that's, once again, the third-party space is more popular than ever, and the independent movement is more popular than ever. And there's groups that are trying to control that space. A lot of white millionaires, supposed communists, they're not communists. They don't care about their workers. They just use that word to enrich themselves and sell their books. It's a lie. It's all converging to a certain extent, right? Yeah. My co-host Lisa from LA likes to say it's all connected, and it really is in so many different ways. This is a complex game, and thank God for people like Christopher Leon Johnson that know where the district lines are and can help me to understand the connection between Harvey Epstein and Kristen Gonzalez and what the hell is going on. Yeah, so that's what's going on
Hmm.
my front. Yeah. Sorry, man. I know that was a huge dump of information, but there's a lot
It's
of
all right.
stuff
It's all
out
right.
there. Anything you want to question or comment on that particular issue?
Nothing makes it go.
Okay. And one thing I wanted to shout out Hip Hop World right now. You saw me with Kid Capri. I talked with Christopher Leon Johnson before we came on. It wasn't really clear to people, but the LL Cool J event is actually an event that's like $85 to $114, I think. Right? You can get tickets at the Forest Hills Arena. And I love LL Cool J, man. He's definitely all the love and respect to LL Cool J, pioneer in the game. Definitely did his thing, yeah. Maybe partied a little bit in Miami, a little bit, but I ain't mad. He definitely was a strong cat in the game. Now Kid Capri also, right? Also a legend in the game. I think he's supposed to be performing, but the poster says, right, that Kid Capri's bringing mystery guests. So when I saw Kid Capri in Union Square, I ran up on him. I was like, "Yo, Kid Capri, what's up, man? Who's you gonna be a surprise guest at the LL Cool J event, right?" So
Hmm.
he couldn't reveal that. So check out my. It's still an exclusive chance to get next to Kid Capri, which is really cool. He revolutionized the game of DJing. Hip hop DJing would not be the same without Kid Capri. That's just a fact. But Wu
Hmm.
Tang's having a free event, and out of all the hip hop anniversary events that's happened in August, there's a whole ton of them, right? Yeah, Wu Tang has an event. LL Cool J has an event. I know I saw Cypress Hills. There's so many, right? Curtis Blow, the other B boys, right, have an event. But one of the realest ones, August 5th, has an event. That's Breeze Team. They're the ones who invented the street phrase you may have heard, "It's showtime." Or you ever heard, "If you like what you see, clap your hands. If you don't like what you see, clap your hands." These phrases that are known by everybody in New York, right, from the street show, right, it's showtime. right? Yeah, these were pioneered by the Group Breeze team and Transformers crew who really been doing out on the streets, and
Hmm.
they're respected, right? J Day, you'll actually see him breakdancing in KRS-One Step Into a World video, but you know they're under appreciated, really, like a lot of
Hmm.
cats in the game. So that event, I think, let me just check where that event is and just shout that out on the show here. You can go to Eventbrite and find the event. Let me just find out where it is. That's going to be at 116 Bradhurst Avenue on August 5th at 1 p.m. And these are some of the realest cats in the game. So, real in all the ways. Good ways and bad ways, right? But they're super positive. They are actually very family, or there's the B-boy show that they have is very family oriented. They don't swear in their show. They don't promote anything negative, and they always say like, do positive stuff for the kids. If you know that, you've seen the B-boy show, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? They send a
Yeah.
very positive, family friendly message. Some that's for business reasons, but you can't deny it. They're consistent, and they keep the streets clean to an extent, right? Yeah, they make sure that problems stay away, so it doesn't get in the way of their own business. Very intelligent, good business partners. Yeah, I can't say
Yeah.
enough good things about them. Yeah, I'm a super fan. They're really the streets, the real streets.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a mouthful. With the Mimiya Abu Jamal stuff, once again, I do anticipate that, and the connections to Moody, I think that, and Pennsylvania, I think that will open up a whole new range of political allies. Mimiya Abu Jamal is very popular and could really open some doors for us. And the national stage is starting to open up, you know what I mean? So on some of the other work that I'm doing with Brian Winters and stuff like that, and Christopher Leon Johnson, you're going to get to be a part of this too, yeah? And other people that's doing
Yeah. Thank.
actual local work. Actual, right, yeah? People that's out here that's actually on the ground putting in work. It's our time. The workers' time, really. Yeah? And thanks to all the ones that's watching us still. There's a lot of people out there that want to see people behind some kind of a thousand, 2,000, 10,000, $1 million studio. A pretty face, some actress, you know what I mean? Some talent who is groomed versus streets people that's out here just doing it for the love, like myself and Christopher Leon Johnson. You can't go to 2, 3 events a day every single week without loving this shit. You know what I mean? That's just what's up.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing basic at all. It's been a slow week. I mean, just been a
What you
great
get?
slow week. I
Yeah.
mean,
What's your plans? We heard about what you did. Like I talk so much about the future. Yeah. Um, what you got coming up this coming week, man? What you getting into?
not much at basic at all. Nothing much.
Okay. I was trying to do an event at the end of August. I feel burned out now. Hopefully with the students something could happen. I would
Hmm.
like to do the event. I might be able to get a co-sponsorship from some of the groups that I've been talking about, so I might still push forward with it. If anybody wants to co-host an event or a convention with myself, a political convention, hit me up. Yeah, I'm looking for people, the presenters. I'm also looking for a venue, and
Hmm.
hopefully it's low cost. Yeah, hopefully it's free. If it does have a cost, hopefully I could get some sponsors. So I like to get together a lot of people that are out here on the ground doing work, like maybe yourself, Drivers United, and others, right? Yeah, I know that's from your angle. On my angle, I like to have Mark Saffman. I like to have the students. LaGuardia College talking to you. If you're watching this, hopefully you do. Talking
Hmm.
to the immigrants. Talking to the people that are, community members that are concerned about migrants taking up their resources, public housing, let's get them all together and have a conversation, So I'd like to do that. So also with the
Hmm.
I'm going to reach out on a national level to all and anybody who's watching this. Please hook me up with your local politicians. Last time, it was a lot of work to look up all these local politicians, state people running for Senate, for House of Representatives. But we're going to take the Unified Platform 22 and the American Union of legislative package and try to once again get candidates to work together in the 24 election cycle. And now I have to research in every state, everybody running for House of Representatives, state Senate, running for president, and try to talk to them and have a conversation. And I'll tell you that a lot of the candidates' dead truth right? Yeah, they hear about this topic and they know it's a real idea, but they only care about like what's going to get them press. And you can see right there if they're going to sell you out or not. And look at their, and I'm telling you right now, a lot of you people who are supporting these candidates, look at their campaign website right now, and see if they have see if they even have a campaign email up. Do they want to have a conversation with you, or do they only have a way for you to give them money? There's some candidates that have the phone number up, they have an email up. Some of the candidates have no email up. They have maybe a form that you could send something on their website. Maybe sometimes they don't even have that. Sometimes their website, I swear to God, is only a bunch of links to send them money. That's all their campaign website is. And maybe there's spoken issues on very cursory surface level topic of some issues. And I'm going to actually make a video exposing all of that bullshit. Oh, there's also a YouTuber very popular named Mr. Beat. Have you ever seen him, Mr. Beat? No?
Hmm?
Have you ever seen Mr.
Yeah.
Beat?
Mr. B?
Yeah. He's like some white, like, very typical looking, like, I think high school teacher who actually makes videos about political topics. So he talks about, like, all 50 presidents, like which presidents I would have supported in their election, blah, blah, blah. Very popular, has millions and millions of followers and views. So the thing is that he made a video on which he tried to call every elected candidate, right, and try to see which ones would, or try to talk to every candidate to see, not every elected official, to see who would, like, get back to him and who was the most responsive. And in his, right, the people with the higher profiles, like the AOCs out there, wouldn't get back to him. But the people who were lower profile would get back to him, right? Yeah? So we could see that the politics game is a clout game more than ideals game, or more than really taking care of the, or really listening to people. And this is from, larger, even larger producers have addressed this topic. You could look up Mr. Beat, B-E-A-T. Millions of views. He talks about politics once again from more of a academic, like school, like, high school type of, right, yeah, understanding and framework, which is what American public wants and understands and how they're used to getting their information. So he's much more digestible for them. Yeah? Are you looking up right now, Mr. Beat?
No, I know I'm not.
Okay, I just saw you fidgeting around, so I thought maybe you were looking that up. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to... Let me check the chat, see if anybody has anything to say. I'm just not in that particular screen.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just bring that up. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah, Chinchilla Jonesia has an event coming up. That's going to be on August 12th. She's doing some kind of celebration of her work. I just saw that in my messages. I got so much stuff I got to update on my calendar. Okay, where's this? What was I looking up again, Chris?
I don't know. I mean,
yeah? All right, give me a second. I was looking up the chat, yeah, to see if anybody was in there. How's our views nowadays? I wonder if people are still watching us. I know my views have dropped significantly. Okay. Is anybody in the chat? We're about to find out. Hey, Cafecito Break's watching. What's up, Cafecito Break? Yeah. Hey. Give me a second. Yo, big fan of Cafecito Break. You know what I mean? They're out there trying to do their thing. Chat, yeah. And
hey, what's up?
shout out to John. I would love to have Cozy talking about that whole crew. I'd love to have Cozy. What do you think about Cozy 19? You know Cozy?
I like Cozy. Got some good music, by the way.
Yeah, what do you think about his activism? He actually does a lot of legislative lobbying work, which I definitely give him props for.
What's up?
He's not really celebrated or recognized. What do you want?
What's up?
I think Cozy's kind of cool.
John?
Yeah.
He kind of seems like to be a solo operator too. He doesn't really seem to. What do you think about Cozy 19? Cozy? What do you know about
I
Cozy?
like Cozy. Got some good music, by the way. Well, Cozy's a rapper. He's a rapper. He's part of the anti movement. Count for he's part of that, you know.
Work, which I definitely give him big fan.
What's up?
I like to see. I
yeah,
feel he's kind of like under. What do you want?
What's up?
I think Cozy's kind of.
Yeah.
John?
Yeah.
He's kind of seems like to be a solo operator. He doesn't really, and I do think that also Cafecito Break. What do you know about Cold? They're very good looking
Got some good
ladies.
music, by the way. Well, Coles is a rapper. He's a rapper. He's part of the anti movement. I mean, yeah,
I think they both
count
have
for
a
it.
lot of
He's part of
potential.
that,
I think they both, I think Cafecito Break and COVID-19 are
Oh, yeah,
actually both like New York City stars in their own right.
what's up?
But I don't think they get
Yeah.
the love or attention they deserve.
Yeah.
What do you think? Or Dion or yourself, right? But I think like they're more like even more very good looking
Got
than
some
like
good music,
we
by
are.
the way.
I mean,
Well,
I think
Coles is
they're
a
more
rapper.
like
He's a rapper. He's part of the anti
what do you think
movement.
we can do? I think what do you think we can do to? What do you think they need to do to really be more appreciated?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. You just gotta put. Sometimes it's just who under who. I know. Cozy works with what's his name? Michael Caine. Michael Caine works with Children's Defense, so I think Michael's probably part of the reason that's going
Or
on.
maybe he is
Michael want to
getting
make.
supported. I don't know. Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. I don't know where the financials is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll see. Yeah, that's cool. All right. So anything else you want particular talk about this particular I don't see any other thing in the chat really going on. We got 2 likes.
Oh, not that made that. Oh, not at all.
Let me just check on the metrics of how our show is doing. Yeah, just checking that right quick. I think our views are starting to drop a little bit. But I know some people are watching because some of my issues are starting to get addressed, which is kind of cool, right? So, like,
Oh,
like,
tomorrow.
yeah.
I'll see something tomorrow. There's gonna be like a town hall tomorrow, hosted by the DSA about striking, strike power.
Oh, no, it didn't drop. We were picking up a steady 30 views. Then the immigrants AOC town hall, Candace Owens got like 100 views, and then we kind of went back to 30. So we haven't fallen. We've just been steady at about 30. So that's cool. All right, I'm not mad at that. We have our core audience. We're underground, but we're gonna build our following, a loyal following, and we're gonna stay true to our roots and our people. Yeah, and we're gonna build this community the right way. Yeah, without all the infiltration, or without as much of the infiltration. Yeah. Or just the infiltration in a different way. Yeah. Anyways, all the angles all the time. Anything else you want to comment on this morning?
Nothing basic. Oh, nothing else at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my hands are full with it. I got so much stuff going on. I don't really get to follow what Cafecito Break is doing, so I wish I could say more about what they're up to. I know they're still active. I think they're doing more migrant rally stuff. I think. I have to catch up on this stuff. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I've just been wrapped up in my own stuff. This is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anything else?
Nothing basic at all. Nothing else. Nothing basically.
Okay. Hey, you know what? Is public housing watching this? Shout out if you are. Yeah, I know 12 Vales is. I don't know if Save Section 9 is. They have their own friends. They have their own framework, right? They have the Sunrise in them, which I know is giving them money, and I'm not mad at that, and I'm friendly with Save Section 9, but Sunrise, right, they have their funders, which have a beef with me, so that's causing issues behind the scenes. But maybe, I could, maybe I'll just end up doing more work with Cafecito Break, right? Yeah, the ones who work with me is the ones that I end up working with. So the ones that have time for me, I have time for them. And that's just, that's just what it is for people that are immigrants, for people that are homeless. That's just how we live, yeah? So progressives, don't judge us, you know what I mean? You're putting us in this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
Nothing basic at all. Tomorrow, if y'all want to come, tomorrow there's gonna be a DSA event about town hall tomorrow. Y'all want to go through?
Oh, really? Who's gonna be there?
Jabari Brisport, Marcella, I think Julia Salazar, everybody.
What do you think about Jabari?
I like Jabari. Jabari's my guy. I like Jabari. He's served football styles.
Yeah, Jabari seemed cool. I mean, I met him at the Tax the Rich, which is a slogan I could get behind. But once again, the implementation needs to be examined. But will Jabari ever speak out against Julia Salazar? Because Salazar is acting funny, man. Once again, right? You got the email that I emailed. I emailed you and Salazar, right? Yeah. She never responded multiple times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got those emails that I emailed to Salazar, right? And I was friendly, and I said I wanted to work together, right? I just asked for a meeting, right? You got that email, right, Chris? Chris, you got that email, right?
Okay, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So Julia can't deny it. You know what I mean? I have an eyewitness right here. All right, folks. I guess that's it, man. Yo, your room's tore up, bro.
Yeah. Oh shit! Yeah, I got to. We're live. Oh shit!
Yeah, you
I got to
live.
clean up.
I didn't. Yeah. All right. We just flashed your whole room, man. Good thing we didn't. Okay. All right. Let me stop the stream.